Hello, in this HTML crash course video, we are going to cover basic tags. We're going to cover some of the most fundamental tags that you will use in any sort of website. The first one we are going to cover is the div tag. This is, I would say, the one that you're going to use the most. This is the one that I would say I definitely use the most. So yeah, it's a very basic and important tag. So to do a div tag or do any tag, remember less than, you put the name of the tag, greater than, then to close the tag, you do less than, / name of the tag, then greater than. With Sublime Text, the editor that I'm using, it actually auto completes it. So what is a div tag? A div tag essentially, actually, before I explain what it is, I'm going to put some text in it. So I'm just gonna say div tag, save this, go to my web browser, refresh. As you can see, we've got some more code or some more text, and it says div tag. Yeah, it looks the same as the previous one, you might be thinking. And you're right, it does virtually look the same. What happens if I were to put some text here? I'm gonna put text here, save that, refresh. Why is that on the same line as this? Because I'm on a separate line technically. Why is this not on a different line? Because I've clicked enter, you see me click enter now. So really, should this not be on a separate line? Unlike something like Microsoft Word or any sort of word processing, that's not the way it works. For you to put it on a separate line, you need to use a specific tag. That tag is called a break rule. So if you do br / greater than, so you might be thinking, okay, this is a little different to the tags we've seen, because so far all the tags except for the doc type, every tag we have seen has a starting tag and a closing tag, whereas this br tag, let me just save it and show you what it does. As you can see, it just puts anything after that on a new line. So why does this have a / and not have essentially a closing tag and a starting tag and a closing tag? It's because it doesn't have any contents. Certain tags don't have any content within it, inside, like in between tags. So this is the way you write them. You should not write a tag that doesn't have any contents. Like, as you can see, it messed up because it couldn't understand why you would want to close it like this. You should not do that. You should either do this or this. Both are valid in HTML5. A lot of people you will see will do tags like this. I prefer to do it like this because when you use something like XML, they don't allow you to have tags that aren't closed. So this is just a good habit to get into. So either one of these are valid for modern web development, but this is just my personal preference. But let's get back to the div tag. Why did this put this text on its own line? And the reason is the div tag has some styling pre-applied to it. So if I go on to inspect, I go to div, and the div tag is displayed as a block element. There's a block element and then there's inline elements. Block elements are on their own line. So when you put a block element, it'll just start you on a new line, and anything that comes after that, whether it's block or inline, will be on a new line as well. Any inline element or any inline code or any inline output, I should say, is on the same line as the previous code, assuming that's inline and not block level. So let me show you essentially the div tag without block level display. So what you do, if you put span, and I'm gonna call this span1, copy and paste this, span2, save that, refresh, and as you can see, the span tags are on a separate line because the div tag with the div tag text is a block level element, but these two tags were inline. So if I were to inspect this, as you can see, there's no default display because by default it's all in line. So let's show you some more beautiful tags. We've shown you the break rule tag, the break line. I'm going to do another one of these just to separate it up a bit. So if you did want to separate this, you just use a BR tag. The next tag I'm going to show you, actually before I show you another one, let me just show you how this would work. So if I were to put a span tag here, save that, refresh, and as you can see, this inline element is now on its own row. So let's go back to Sublime, and the last tag I'm going to show you is the P tag. So if I put P, and in here I'm just going to put paragraph. That's what the P tag actually stands for. It's generally used for paragraphs. You might be thinking, can you just have paragraphs in a span tag or a div tag or in no tag? Yeah, you can. It's just P tags are designed with paragraphs in mind. Let me show you what they're like. So if I refresh, as you can see, it's on its own line and it's actually got a gap. So it's a block level element with its own extra styling. So if I right click, inspect, as you can see, it's displays block, hence why it's on a separate line, but it's also got a margin. We'll cover margins in it's going to be in a separate series. So this is the HTML crash course. We're going to have a crash course for CSS as well. But margin essentially is just, I was going to say some padding, but padding is its own thing. But what margin does is if you have the contents of the element, so this for example, it adds some extra space outside of those contents. Padding adds space within the contents. That's the best way of explaining it. So certain tags will have extra styling. That's it for this basic tags crash course. We will cover more tags in future videos. If you have any questions, feel free to post them on our education platform, sonarlearning.co.uk. I hope you liked this video, and as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.